Hello and welcome back. Today it's time for my story. The story that led me, the story of the journey of from basically the darkness to the light. I come from parents that are divorced. Happened when I was around 2 years old. From that point on, I bounced around from apartment to apartment with my mom and sister, my older sister. And I would see my dad. I don't know at what point it started, but I would see my dad every other weekend. That was like a normal. And from that point on, that was happened for about, I don't know, 3-4 years, and then my mom met a man and got married again. So I had a new dad. So I'm young, I'm 5-6 years old, and I have a new dad now. My dad, I had to go visit my real dad every other weekend. I guess you could see it was a little confusing for young Derek. But anyway, my mom, my stepdad, me, my older sister, then mom and Jim started having more kids. Boom. Bang, bang, bang. Now I have 4 sisters and me. And I didn't like being at home with all these sisters. So my dad opened up the opportunity for me to go live with him. He's only about 20 minutes down the road. No big deal. During all that time growing up, I bounced around from high school or elementary school to elementary school to middle school. And then I finally moved in with my dad 8th grade year. And then freshman year of high school, I moved with him in a new town. So boom, I started high school in a new town. So always having to be around new things, not really anything ever being set in stone. Nothing really is anyway, but that's besides the point. I like playing baseball, so I tried out for the baseball team. Got on it, no problem, and played baseball my whole life. So having to get to know everybody, new friends, and fitting in or whatever, that became a top priority. Fitting in with the tribe. So that's what I cared about most. Playing baseball and fitting in with everybody around me, basically. To be liked, right? Then I remember I was on the bus sophomore year of high school. A friend was like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" It was a Friday. "You want to come to a party?" I was like, "Absolutely. When and where, I'll be there." I don't even remember the party, but the point is that was like the initiation to, I can now go to parties. Well, I would go to any opportunity, meet as many people as possible, and kind of the cool thing about not being part of the group was me and my buddy could just go. All right, the situation was my best friend at the time, his sister was a sophomore. My sister was a senior. His sister was a junior. My sister was a senior. I was a sophomore. He was a freshman. So we had people in every class. Well, his sister was popular in her grade. And my sister knew plenty of people in her grade. So anyway, we were always around older people. And we got to go to basically all their parties because we knew Anna. And boom, that was the ticket. But there was not one single weekend of my from sophomore year to senior year that I stayed in. Every weekend was boom. Where's the party? Where's the fun? What's happening? And so that's where I accumulated my habit for really liking to party and be under the influence of things, and at that point it didn't seem like a problem. It wasn't like, oh, that's the problem. It was like, this is fun. Like, I go and do my schoolwork during the week and go party on the weekends. Like, what's the problem? And that was a lot of fun. And looking back on it, like, no, there's nothing wrong with what I was doing in terms of, like, I wasn't hurting anybody, but I was hurting myself at the end of the day. I was detrimental to my own self, and I didn't realize it at the time. But the point is it's helping. I had to go through it in order to get to where I am now. So that's the groundwork on how I found my life unmanageable. It's like a little snippet into what was going on, like living the dream of a high school, living the dream of college. I get enter into college, and it's a grand old time, 26,000 people, something like that. And once again, a new school, I had to meet a whole bunch of people. I played baseball. I made sure I could pass my classes my first year, because I heard that if you don't pass your classes, you'll get kicked out. And I was like, well, I definitely don't want to get kicked out. This is way too much fun. So I'm staying in as long as I can. So I'm not going to play baseball my first year. I'm going to focus and make sure I pass all my classes. So anyway, I did. And then, boom, sophomore year, I tried out for the club baseball team. I got on, and man, it was a good time. Camaraderie, brotherhood, family, kind of, basically. Those are my brothers. Anytime I was on a baseball team, it was my brothers. It's nice, because I grew up with all sisters. And partying was normal. Definitely normal. At one point, our junior year, we won the national championship. Awesome. Great experience. Because as an athlete, the goal is to win the championship. I mean, that's the common denominator. And I'd always wanted to win the whole thing. I remember for years and years and years, like, let's win the whole thing, like the absolute whole thing. And so my junior year, we won the national championship for club baseball. And phenomenal experience to be able to work together as a team, to have people lift people up, help people when they're down, hold people accountable. Everybody comes in union together, every cog in the wheel, and phenomenal leader, our coach. Anyway, the point is, when all of that college and high school and all that 10-year period of just partying and living school and living life, and I call it the fishbowl analogy, because I'm in this fishbowl of like, this is my fishbowl, this is my environment. I have to go to class, I can play baseball, I can go down to this party, that party. This is like my ecosystem, my world, in this fishbowl of going to school. As long as you pass your classes, you can stay in, basically. I mean, and so next thing you know, boom, I graduate and I'm dropped off. I got to move back home. Like, all of those hundreds of friends and parties to go to and classes to go to, and all of that was over. Everybody split up, went back to their hometowns, and just everybody like dispersed, and it just like dropped me out. And I remember feeling so kind of like hurt by that, like kind of like, what? Like, it's all over now? Like, I was not ready for that. So like, I was partying a lot. I had introduced myself to pain pills here and there. I wasn't addicted to them at that point, but I was using them recreationally here and there. And as soon as that happened, boom, back at home, got to get a real job now that what I was supposed to be preparing for in college, and I wasn't ready at all. It's my own fault, but it is what it is. And I found my way to any kind of pill that would make me feel better, and I took them, and I took them, and I took them, and it made me feel better for a short period of time. And I need more of them and more of them, and I would say that's like probably like the worst part about it is, sure, you feel great. I mean, it's artificial dopamine, or the experience is real, very real. Like, do the pill and I feel amazing, but it's an artificial way to get there, so it stops. So it causes problems, which is, we can get into that later. The point is I was taking pain pills and trying to mask all the pain of, I don't want to do life. Like, I don't want to get the job. I don't want to have to, like, there was so many things, like all this responsibility. It's like, here I am in my other fishbowl, and I felt like king of the fishbowl. I could go hang out with these people when I want. I can go to this place. I could go to this place on the weekend. I can go to my classes. I'm learning something new. It's fun. It's exciting. Go downtown. Whatever. There was always something to go to. Pool party. Fill in the blanks. Like, everything to do all the time. And boom. It's like I graduated out of that. It's like, boom. Now, okay, real life time now. I just wasn't ready. So I amped up the dosages to feel better, to make up for it. I didn't have good coping mechanisms, let's be real. And I just abused and used the drugs, and over and over and over, until, when was it? My life became unmanageable. I remember I was at my grandmother's funeral. I had lost a bunch of weight because I didn't want to work out anymore because it was too painful to work out and take pain pills at the same time. So anyway, I lost, like, I don't know, 20, 30 pounds, something like that. And my brother-in-law saw me and he said, "Are you on drugs?" I was like, that was like, he was reaching out, being real, and I took that opportunity, and I said, yes, I'm definitely using drugs. And he's like, bro, he's like, all right, you can come live with me and your sister, and we got an extra room, and get yourself straight. And I said, I'll be there on Wednesday. And I didn't have much to pack up. I threw my stuff in the car. I had enough drugs to get me there. Got there, and boom, that's the first time I got clean off of opiates and did the withdrawal process. Absolutely horrendous. And I'm so grateful and thankful to him and my sister for allowing me to have that safe place to get off of drugs the first time. But anyway, that's part one. Part two will continue on in the next video. Peace.